Thanks for joining me on Life and Surround. Today, I would like to take a few minutes to tell you about the deluxe set of Vigil in a Wilderness of Mirrors by Fish. This is the first solo album from Fish after parting ways with Marillion. Now, we're talking back in the 80s, but this deluxe set has come out here in 2024. Now, this is not the first deluxe set that Fish has issued, so the reissues are coming out of chronological order. We already have Weltschmerz, 13th Star, this one, and then right around the time that this one was issued, you also had the chance to pick up Internal Exile, his second solo album. So I think we have four deluxe sets on our hands. And anyway, so thank you to my friend Steve for loaning me this review copy. It's very, very kind of him. I otherwise would not, in this instance, have been able to get my hands on this one. I am going to discuss with you the CDs, the Blu-ray, and the book a little bit, I suppose, and just like the overall value. This is still available on the Fish Music website, and as far as I know, it's only available there. So I'm going to try to help you decide whether this would be a worthy investment for you or perhaps not. So let's try to establish some order here. Let's talk about the physical product, and then we'll go CDs, and then finally Blu-ray. Now, the Blu-ray is most important to me as a multi-channel music lover. It contains 5.1 and Atmos mixes of the entire album plus two bonus tracks. Okay, so here we go. As with the other Fish Deluxe sets, not to mention the Marillion sets that are coming out, this comes in a slip sleeve. It's kind of what people refer to as a book set instead of a box set. So you get a slip sleeve, shedding that. It has disc information on the back, not disinformation, information about the discs. And then, it reveals a book that has album cover art, unadulterated by text, and then this image on the back. So anyway, then opening the book, it holds the discs. There are two in front and three in back, so you get four CDs and a Blu-ray. You get lots of pictures of Fish and his buddies, his colleagues. You get live shots. You get the obligatory essay, and you get pictures of the master tapes, and you get like expanded album artwork. I'm going to try to find those master tapes because you all know how much I love master tape porn. Here we are. There they are, the master tapes. So at some point, these were accessed and then archived digitally. And then those were sent to Avril McIntosh and Andy Bradfield, the, more or less the resident multi-channel mixing engineers for Fish. And so, okay, so the CDs. On CD1, you get the album proper plus a couple of bonus tracks. And then across the next three CDs, you get demos and live cuts. Now, my problem with those three CDs are that they exclusively feature tracks from the Vigil album. And by the time I got through all three of those CDs, I felt like they were highly redundant, and I was just kind of like getting over it a little bit. So then let's move on to the Blu-ray, because the Blu-ray is very cool here. It is feature laden, and it really is what I want to see out of, a Blu-ray in deluxe sets like this. Not only do you get the album remixed into Atmos, which I love because I have a 7.2.4 Atmos system, and I love giving it a workout. But there's also a dedicated 5.1 mix, and that's going to be exciting news for those that don't really like to fold down Atmos onto their 5.1 systems. I did not audition the 5.1 mix, so I cannot vouch for you how much better it would be than a fold down from the Atmos or inferior or whatever. So perhaps those of you that can compare in that way can leave comments, or if you simply have a 5.1 system that can decode Atmos, or maybe if it can't, I think then you'd probably get the Dolby Digital Core. Anyway, leave comments if you like the dedicated 5.1 mix. That would be much appreciated by other viewers, I am sure. Then you also get two interviews, one with Fish and one with another guy. I'm sorry, I'm a little scattered today, but anyway, I didn't have time to watch those interviews. I didn't have time to read the book. I didn't have time to read the essay. I didn't have time to watch the promo videos, but there's promo videos of the singles from the album if you're into that sort of thing. And then importantly, on the Blu-ray, there are two official bootleg concerts. There's Pigpen's Birthday, which features songs from the Vigil album plus Marillion songs. And then there is the official bootleg called For Whom the Bells Toll. And that features songs from Vigil, the second solo album, Internal Exile, plus Marillion songs. And I know from longtime diehard fans that that is a very, very desirable feature of this set. I happen to have listened to both of those shows. There are a couple of rough audio moments on Pigpen's Birthday, but no reason not to give that concert a listen. Very good shows. It shows the energy that Fish and crew had at the time, his interpretation of Marillion songs in the wake of leaving the band, and just that live demonstration of album material, which often brings a different energy and can kind of give you a different appreciation for songs maybe that you've heard a lot, if you've listened to the album. So high marks for the Blu-ray. Now, for me, since I am a multi-channel lover and this is Life in Surround, let's go into the Atmos mix just a bit. First of all, I have been a growing fan of the work of Avril McIntosh and Andy Bradfield. I was pretty hard on them when they first released multi-channel for Marillion. I think it was Script for a Jester's Tear. I felt like it lacked sufficient utilization of what surround could do. And I've actually corresponded with both of them a bit, mostly Avril, and a very nice lady. And so they have grown in their multi-channel prowess, particularly in the realm of Atmos. I'm finding that maybe engineers find Atmos mixing tools to be easier to use than 5.1. Um, so anyway, this is a good Atmos mix. I don't know if I would call it a great Atmos mix. I am, very, very, very pulled apart in many different directions in life right now. So I gave it a couple of listens. I wouldn't venture to, compare it to the best of Steven Wilson or what have you, but this is a competent Atmos mix. You have the lead vocal front and center as it should be, the bass guitar front and center as it should be. The drums are mainly out in front of you, spread across the front of the room in stereo, and also some additional percussive moments. And then your wings and your backs and your heights are the home of just about everything else. You have keys, you have pipes, you have guitars, you have saxophone. Um, and so I'm a fan of putting like the bed tracks up front of the listener and then the supportive tracks all around. And that's more or less what we have here. There's this one really cool moment where saxophone is like pretty much like right in front of your face while it's showcased, and then later on it kind of moves to your surround left. So anyway, copious use of the immersive field of the surrounds, if you will. The heights are in use, and that is most audible during the more peaceful moments of this album, but they're there. So, and dynamically, I was able to crank this album without ear fatigue. So, in my opinion, we have good dynamics. We have a good mix. It definitely helped to engage me further into these songs than I ever had been able to in stereo. And I would say that the standout Atmos tracks here are going to be the title track, The Company, Gentleman's Excuse Me, and the bonus track of Internal Exile. Oh, wait. Those are simply my favorite songs from the album. So maybe I just told you my favorite songs, but the point is that the Atmos mix stands up and it doesn't disappoint. How often have we multi-channel lovers put on an album and it's like the one song that you love the most doesn't even receive like a very good mix? Like maybe the master tapes weren't available. I'm thinking of songs from The Big Pink by Bob Clearmountain, where for some reason The Weight just doesn't have a very good multi-channel mix. And he's a master, so I have to assume that something was going on with the source material. And then another example would be Jimi Hendrix Electric Ladyland, the 5.1 mix by Eddie Kramer, where like everybody's waiting for Watchtower to just blow their minds. And then it's kind of like this wonky mix. And other like deeper album cuts from that release like received way better surround mixes. So fear not, this album is very consistent. All of the tracks are mixed well in Atmos, and I trust in 5.1. And it's likely that your favorite tracks from this album are going to really do it for you. So, notably, the bonus track Internal Exile and the bonus track Whiplash are both featured in multi-channel here. So I really adore that, especially since this is a different version of Internal Exile than the title track from the next album. This is more of a folksy version, less polished. And I like its folksy nature since it seems to be some sort of like a call to arms. It's like Fish calling out to his countrymen to unite and finally someday rise up against, the oppressive, country that controls them. So anyway, I think like the folksy thing kind of like, just gives me a picture of like this message going out across the country, the countryside, if you will. So this set has a lot to recommend it. I want to leave off by discussing price and distribution with you. So this set is only available on the Fish Music website, and it's rather pricey. I think it goes for around 50 pounds. And then, depending on where you are in the world, you are on the hook for quite a bit of shipping. So this set priced me out. And so thus, I'm very, very thankful that a friend sent me, this copy for loan so I could review it for all of you. I really do like Fish. I love Marillion, especially earlier Marillion. And, I love a lot of Fish's work. So I do check out his multi-channel content when I can, but I'm among those who is just priced out at this point. So, a couple of suggestions. The Atmos mix here, the 5.1 mix, nor the Atmos mix are available on streaming. So, digital distribution of the multi-channel mix would be cool because then people could at least, hear the Atmos mix lossy, but it's better than nothing on Apple Music or Tidal, perhaps. And then, deluxe sets are all well and good, but they're very heavy and they are, expensive to produce. So I understand wanting to recoup the costs, but, would a standalone Blu-ray, be out of the question just in like a cardboard sleeve or better yet, like, one of those blue plastic, traditional Blu-ray cases where you can kick the thing out, you know, for 15 quid and bring the shipping down. That would get the music out to more people. Now, I understand like the deluxe set hasn't even sold out yet, so maybe the price needs to come down anyhow to, get this thing into the hands of more listeners. And you wouldn't necessarily want, a standalone competing at the same time, but, hey, I'm just giving the listener's opinion here. So this is a cool deluxe set. It is a cool album. I don't really get in touch with about half the tracks here, but the tracks that I do find resonance with, I really, really find resonance with. I really love the title track. Gentleman's Excuse Me has really grown on me. I've loved the company from the first time I heard it. And again, the alternate version of Internal Exile, I believe is really to be sought out. I really like it. I like it on the subsequent album as well. It's just a really different flavor, and these four songs are quite the earworms. So, in a good way, some good songwriting here. So, I do recommend this set. particularly the Atmos remix, the 2024 Atmos remix of the album. Hey, Avril. And, so if you can afford it, or if the price comes down at some point, keep this deluxe set in mind. If you already have it, I would love for you to let everybody know what you think about it in the comments below, or, any other topic that is relevant. Go ahead and leave comments. And don't forget, if you like what I do, give a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the notification bell, leave comments, share videos. Um, Grab a Life in Surround t-shirt from my store. I'll leave a link below. It all helps. And again, so I appreciate you, Steve. Thank you for the loan. I appreciate you, Fish. Thank you for putting out deluxe versions of your albums, even though I have a few complaints. Hey, the world isn't perfect. And thank you to all of you for watching, for all of your support, and, just for helping me to enjoy music more. I enjoy music more when I get to share it with all of you. And that's a lot of what this channel is all about. So with that, I will just encourage all of you, per usual, to live life in surround.